Hey guys, how you doing? It's Fernando here today with another gaming news. This one will be the Defective edition of gaming news because it's going to be Rockstar heavy this week. Unfortunately, they made a lot of news, and yeah, the unfortunate part is that none of it is very good. So let's get into it. Well, some of the news is good for them, but not the majority of the news for the consumer, us, is not that good. But let's start with a positive. Let's start with the weekly update for GTA Online. So this week starts on the 10th and ends on the 16th. We got new content. Finally, we're gonna get the weaponized Kanata, the Buckingham weaponized Kanata. That's gonna be a new weaponized vehicle. It's not technically it's not new since the Kanata came out in the last update, but this one is weaponized, so there's a difference. So we got that. Let's see how it plays out. We'll see videos from other content creators evaluating it soon. Assault on Cal Perico, a new adversary mode set in Cal Perico. That should be interesting. I might check that out. We got bonuses. We got if we do an ammunition baseball tee by completing a bunker sale, we get an atomic rally spec library for the monstrosity. If we do a gun range supply mission, and then several classic adversary mode will be returning occupy, extraction, and trading place. Okay, that's returning adversary modes. They seem to cycle them in and out when they want to. 3 times money in RP on the ammunition contract missions. Those are the missions where you have extra ammunition in a little truck and you have to deliver it to one of the ammunition stores. Instead of 50k, now you're getting 150k. Double money in RP on Assault on Perico. That's the new adversary mode. And the one highlight here is bunker sales are double. Not 1.5, none of that BS. It's 2 times money in RP. And that makes for great money. This is one of the best businesses to do solo. It makes you good money. When it's double, it's even better. You could do one bar. It'll cost you 75k to resupply, and you'll get 420 back solo. So it's a good investment, and it's worth doing. Also, if you have done your research, bunker research is double the speed. Discounts on the Mark II weapon upgrades. If you don't have your Mark II weapons, this is the perfect time to do it. The Anis Eros, the Insurgent, the Night Shark, and the Ocelot AX. Now, the best ones are the Insurgent and the Night, especially the Night Shark. For people that play PvP, it's vital that you have a Night Shark because that's one of the vehicles that's very armored. It takes a lot of explosive stickies or rockets and stuff like that to get blown up. So a lot of people will drive around in Night Sharks to avoid getting griefed on and stuff. Good vehicle to buy. Properties, bunker properties, including upgrades and modifications, 30% off. Explosive weapons, the railgun, the rocket launcher, Molotovs, all that explosive stuff is 30% off. So good week to stock up. And then the free vehicle, then the Lucky Wheel, we got the Nagasaki Outlaw, we got the prize ride, the Pegasi Toros, and the premium trials. Well, there you go. For the people interested in the premium trials and the test rides, there you go. So yeah, good business week this week. It's actually fine. I give this an A, solid A. Finally, Rockstar gave us a week worth of investing time into for the people that want to grind for money. And for the people who want a PvP and don't have everything they need, they can now buy that Night Shark and Insurgent. 2 very good PvP vehicles to have. And for new people for looking for something new, hey, Kyle Perico, Assault on Kyle Perico. Hopefully it's a good adversary mode. Even though a lot of people don't play adversary modes anymore, I mean, it's still good that they're adding new content to the game. So it's a good week, worthwhile trying out. Okay, so let's get some news out of the way. Let me see. Where am I? All right, so let's get to the best part about this week for, well, at least for Rockstar, because they're going to make a lot of money on this. This is Red Dead Redemption. Not remake, not remaster, just the port of Red Dead Redemption on the PS4 and the Switch. Now you might be asking, why only on the PS4 and the Switch? What happened to Xbox? Xbox already has a version of Red Dead Redemption that's backwards compatible with the Series S and the Series X. That's probably even better because it has all the DLC. Well, not all of these included, but it has Undead Nightmare. If you buy the disc with Undead Nightmare, you have Undead Nightmare included, and you have multiplayer. If you look at the fine print on the readings, that no multiplayer will be included with Red Dead Redemption on PS4 or the Switch. So let's look at this trailer real quick. I do want to show it without audio, so hopefully I don't get copyright claimed. As you can tell, the game actually still looks pretty damn good. But this is not because they touched up the game or anything. It's just because it's going to run on better hardware. This is just like on a PC. If you upgrade the graphics card on your PC, your games are going to look much better. Same thing here. The games are going to run on the PS4, the PS4 Pro, the PS5. And they're going to look much crisper, much cleaner. But that doesn't mean that Rockstar put any work into this. Or actually, not even Rockstar. Double 11 Studios, whoever the hell they are. Because I've never heard of them before this announcement. But Double 11 Studios is working on the port of this game. So all they have to do is pretty much just transfer the code over to the PS4 or the Switch. I know it's not an easy process. I'm not gonna say this is it's like something easy to do, but still, that's all they're doing. They're just taking the game from the PS3, the Xbox 360, and porting it over to the PS4 and the Switch. They're not doing really too much work on it. They're not improving the graphics. They're not making any gameplay enhancements. They're just bringing the game over. And the worst part is not even that they're bringing the game over. I don't really mind that they brought the game over if they would have priced it accurately. But unfortunately, the price for this is $49.99. So $49.99 for a port of a 13-year-old game. Red Dead Redemption 1 came out in 2010. So this is 13 years old. Now I know Rockstar loves their re-releases and stuff, but this is a little too late. And this is a lot of money to be asking for. Maybe there wouldn't have been so much of a complaint if maybe they priced it around $20. That would have seemed maybe fair. Even $20, I'm like, because if you think about past games before, like if you look at like I said, I brought up this example last time I talked about this. Mafia Definitive Edition released. This is a remake, not a remaster, a remake from the ground up from the parent company of Rockstar Games. This is Take Two. Take Two was the publisher of this. 2K Games, I mean, sorry, but Take Two owns 2K. So this is a sister company of Rockstar, and Take Two probably had a hand in pricing this too. And they priced it for $39.99, and now you could get it for $13.99 if you really wanted to. It's been out for 2020. It's only been out for like 3 years, and this is a remake. They made it from the ground up. They worked like they had the basic story down, but even the story is not exactly the same as it was in the game that came out all that long time ago. The story is a little different. The graphics are all new. The engine's all new. It's a completely new game with a similar story from the past. And that one is $39.99 when it came out, and now you can get it for $13.99. Whereas for, let's say, another example from Rockstar Games, the trilogy, the definitive edition is like to call it, quote unquote. This game, first of all, let me go back to Mafia. On Mafia, you could choose to buy the game by itself, or you could buy the whole trilogy of 3 games. That's Mafia 1, 2, and 3. And they also have their own remastered versions, which is just like upgraded graphics. They're not remakes, they're remasters, 2 and 3. And they upped the graphics on that one. So they put some work on it. Rockstar like had Grossy Games do this crap, and these are ports of mobile games. So this is the mobile version of Grand Theft Auto, the Definitive Edition. And they don't even give you an option to just buy San Andreas, just buy GTA 3, just buy Vice City. You have to buy them all in a pack together for $59.99. $59.99. You can't pick and choose. You can't pay $20. Oh, maybe you just want San Andreas, $20. No, you gotta buy all 3, and it's still priced at $60. I rarely see discounts on this game on Steam or Epic or anywhere. And when like the copy I bought was from GameFly, and they charged me $10 for it. And that was a used copy that they probably rented out like a bunch of times. Thankfully, the disc was in good shape. The boxes are always in good shape from GameFly. So if you're ever going to buy a used game, I recommend you buy it from there, because that's probably where you're going to get the best quality. Just make sure you have the disc first. Like, rent it out first. Get the disc. See that it's not like super scratched up or messed up. If it's in good condition and you want to keep it, then keep it. Usually give you a discount for keeping it too. So it's worthwhile. But here, this is not $10. This is $60. And this is for their crappy Definitive Edition that still hasn't been fixed yet. So I don't know what the hell Rockstar is thinking, what Strauss Zelnick is thinking. And just to verify, these are going to be the resolutions. This is from editor from Rockstar Magazine. These are going to be the resolutions for the games that are coming out. On the Switch dock mode, I'm sorry, it's in a different language, but he's not American. On the Switch dock mode, it's going to be 720p, 30 FPS. I'm sorry, on this is dock mode, yeah. Okay, docked no, you know what? It's not dock mode. This would be handheld mode. And this is dock mode, TV. 1080p, 30 FPS. On the PS4, it's going to be 1080p, 30 FPS. On the PS Pro, it's going to be 4K, 30 FPS. And on the PS5, be backwards compatibility, same, 4K, 30 FPS. So we're still locked at 30 FPS. And the 4K, although it's going to look good, it's going to be upscaled. It's not going to be natural. They didn't work to make it 4K. They're just upscaling it a little bit so it looks better. But like I said, it's a testament to Rockstar. The game that they released in 2010 still holds up today. But imagine if they actually put some work onto it. maybe use a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2 engine and use those graphical assets to make the game look even better than it already does. Like if you play Red Dead Redemption 2 on a PC at 60 frames per second, man, that game is gorgeous. It's already gorgeous on the PS4 and PS5. So only imagine if you had those improvements on it. Red Dead Redemption 1 with those improvements would have been fantastic. But unfortunately, Rockstar didn't want to put in the work. They went the cheap route. They went to somebody else. They said, you know what, you handle this. They gave them probably some money to do it, and then they're going to do the best job they can. The developers, Double 11 Studios, I mean, they're not at fault. They're going to do what they can with what they're getting. I doubt that they didn't want to make this a remaster or anything. They just didn't get the budget for it. So that's unfortunate that we're going to be stuck at 30 FPS and 4K only upscaled to the hardware. And let's see what else we got to talk about. Oh yeah, so this is also going talking about the pricing. So they just had a financial call. Take-Two Interactive did, and they asked them about the pricing. They said, why are you pricing this at $50?" And Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, which owns Rockstar Games, they said that the pricing for the Red Dead Redemption 1 release port is commercially accurate. Now, where did they get the balls to say it's commercially accurate? I don't know. I just showed you the examples of other games that they've released under other companies. 2K releasing Mafia Trilogy. Not trilogy, Mafia the Definitive Edition, the first one, for $40, and that was a remake, not a remaster, a remake. The GTA Trilogy Edition was $60. You can't pick and choose the game you want. You have to buy all three, and they're ports of mobile games. So they're going from good to bad to worse. And now they're not even trying. They're just gonna release a port, throw it out there, and charge $50 for it. Does that sound right to you? Are we going better? No, we're going worse. We're going greed. That's where we're going. All right. And what else did he say? Let's see. Zelnick doesn't address the fact that the Xbox version of Red Dead Redemption with Undead Nightmare only costs a combined $39.98 from the storefront. Yeah, if you buy the digital version of Red Dead Redemption on Xbox, it's $40. You buy $29.99 for the game and $9.99 for Undead Nightmare. You can buy those separately. And if you go to Amazon or any other place and try to buy a used copy or even a sealed copy of Red Dead Redemption, the complete edition, on Xbox, you can find it for $20. So I don't understand where the commercial viability is for $50 port of a game that's gonna have less content. Because remember, PS4 and the Switch versions will not have multiplayer. I know multiplayer is not that popular in Red Dead, but it's still an option to have. So you're taking away less content, but charging more money. That makes no sense to me. That is not commercially accurate. No matter what the hell Strauss Zelnick says, the only thing commercially accurate for him is his bank account. Because the one thing that was reported in that earnings call was that he made $42 million, which is more than double what he made last year. And if you're wondering how did he make that much money, well, Shark Cards, GTA Plus, and now with this port, he's probably gonna make a ton of money there too. So decisions that he makes contribute to his wallet. So think about that next time you decide to subscribe for GTA Plus. If you're deciding on thinking of buying Red Dead Redemption, this lousy port, or if you're thinking about buying a Shark Card, think about where that money is really going. Now, here's another thing I want to comment. The other thing he commented, Strauss Zelnick did, is that the Nintendo Switch Part 2, or whatever they're going to call it eventually, there's going to be another iteration of next generation of Nintendo's next hardware. And it's going to be either the Switch 2 or the Super Switch, whatever, something. It's going to be similar to what they have now, I'm guessing. And a lot of talk has come out as to if it's going to be backwards compatible with the original Switch. Like, will you be able to insert your cartridges from the original Switch onto the new Switch and be able to play your games backwards compatible? And Strauss Zelnick said that although backwards compatibility is a benefit, it's not a must-have. And I find it funny that he says that. I think it's a great benefit for consumers, because that means that when the new Switch comes out, you're gonna have your whole library still to play. You're not gonna be like putting away you're gonna be able to put away your Switch, get your Switch 2, and be able to play games there, and probably benefit from playing them there, because it's gonna be better hardware that's gonna run better. Imagine playing Tears of the Kingdom with a Switch 2 that's comparable to a PlayStation 4. And it's able to hold up those graphics better than the original Switch can. Because the original Switch is just a little tablet. It's basically a little tablet. It doesn't have power. This phone is more powerful than the Switch. But unfortunately, it's just not compatible. Now, it's not able to run the newest games accurately. Like, Tears of the Kingdom sometimes stutters. Like they released a new Pokemon game, that game stutters and it's hard to run. Bayonetta 3, they were very ambitious with that game, but that game has frame rate issues and stutters as well because the hardware is old. They're very ambitious, and Nintendo does a good job as working with their limited hardware. Like all the Nintendo games, except for the Pokemon games, unfortunately, but most of the Nintendo games, all the Mario games, they run fine, but they're not graphical dependent. So when a new system comes out and you have these old games that'll probably run better, you have the example with the PlayStation 5. Put a PlayStation 4 game in your PlayStation 5, see how much better it runs. You have that benefit. And that's for the consumer, but unfortunately, Strauss Zelnick and a lot of the companies, this is not just Strauss Zelnick, this is not just him. Other companies, probably like EA and Ubisoft, they're pushing Nintendo not to make the Switch backwards compatible. And you're probably wondering, why would you not give the customer a benefit like that, a big benefit like that? The reason is because they want to sell you games again. Like for example, if they release a Switch 2, but they don't make it backwards compatible, Nintendo go back, and other companies can go back and release their games from the last gen to this Switch 2, and expect you to buy it again. And Nintendo did this with the Wii U and the Switch. Like they would port over their Wii U games over to the Switch, but and at that time the Wii U failed. It was a terrible system. It only sold like 13 million units. So it made a little more sense for Nintendo to port over those games to Switch because the Switch was super popular and everybody had a Switch, so they could sell those games again that they didn't sell the first time. But now other companies are seeing this and be like, "Hey man, if don't make it backwards compatible, and we could sell our games from the original Switch to the Switch 2 again, and say, oh, better graphics, 4K upscale, whatever they want to say, and they could just sell you the game again." Strauss Zelnick, perfect example of a man who knows about selling games over and over and over again. How many times like Rockstar has released GTA 5? How many times this is the second time Rockstar's going to release Red Dead Redemption? Lazy ports. And they're just cash grabs, and this is why Strauss Zelnick doesn't surprise me that he is into not making the Switch 2 backwards compatible. Hopefully, Nintendo doesn't listen and goes for their consumers rather than the profit. But we'll see. Hopefully, when we get news about the Nintendo Switch, I'll let you guys know. All right, so that's enough Rockstar bullshit for today. Let's talk about some positive stuff. So we got Metacritic, and we got a new game that's actually toppled Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom in the ratings for best game so far. There's this game called Baldur's Gate 3. It just released on August 3rd, and it scored a 97 on Metacritic, which was able to surpass Tears of the Kingdom, which is actually surprising. I really like Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't had a chance to finish it or even play it that much, but I really like what I played so far. It looks great. It's just like Breath of the Wild, but it's improved on a lot of ways. And Baldur's Gate 3, like I haven't played a lot of it, but I've let me show you guys. This is a little gameplay. This is from Shikaro. If you guys want to sub to him, go ahead. I'll put a link down in the description. This is gameplay of Baldur's Gate 3. It mainly looks like Diablo 4 or a Dungeons and Dragon game. The setting is really much Dungeons and Dragons. The gameplay looks like a combination of Diablo 4 and what's that game that I want? Basically, it looks like an RPG. It looks like an action RPG, and it's turn based. So it looks like a good game. The graphics are very nice, and the gameplay looks all right. This is just not that kind of game because these games tend to be really grindy, and I'm really trying to get away from grindy games. It does have a story though, because I saw a lot of cutscenes on the playthrough that I saw. So there is a story in this game. But if you like this fantasy setting, this Dungeons and Dragons setting, I can see a lot of people do because it's a very popular game and it's rated very highly. This is probably the best game for you. If you're playing Diablo 4, maybe this is a better game for you because I've heard a lot of negative things about Diablo 4 lately. They're really screwing up that game. Like they nerfed a lot of the classes. I think all the classes actually from the last update, and the people were really upset about that. So if you're looking for an alternate for Diablo 4, this is probably the best game for you, and it's the highest rated game so far of the year. Let's move on to the PlayStation Plus games. This is an interesting thing. This is for people that have premium and extra. They're going to add a bunch of games. That I just want to discuss the main ones, which is Lost Judgment. Lost Judgment is a very good game. Destroy All Humans 2 is coming to premium. That's good. Curse Golf, I haven't heard of it much. Moving Out 2 is a good game. The Witch Queen expansion for Destiny 2. So anybody who has premium or extra, it's free to use. Well, not free. I shouldn't use free. I mean, you'll be able to use it on your subscription. And the one game that interests me is Sea of Stars, because Sea of Stars is a new game. It's a brand new game. you know that PlayStation really doesn't do game day one games, but Sea of Stars is a brand new game coming out. It's also coming out on Game Pass for the Xbox, and if you have a subscription to either one of these, then you'll be able to play Sea of Stars day one. And that's I've never seen a game be day one on PlayStation, so this is a good move. And hopefully there are more games that'll go that route and that'll release on the PlayStation Premium or Extra day one. And people can enjoy that because that's something that's lacking in the PlayStation side. Game Pass, they're always going to have their first party games, their Halos, their which one's Starfield's the one that's coming out soon. That one's gonna be day one on Game Pass. So it's good to see that PlayStation is starting to add some day one games as well. Let's see. Hopefully they do more in the future. They also another thing that they're adding on PS5. They're gonna do cloud streaming. Now, if anybody doesn't know what cloud streaming is basically like where you're able to log into your computer, or if you have a handheld like a Steam Deck, like I do and stuff like that, and you have the app installed, you can play games through your app. And the good thing about it is, at least for the Xbox one, because I haven't tried this one, I don't have the beta. But for the Xbox version, you could actually stream games on it. Like for example, here, if I go to cloud gaming on my Xbox app, I could play GTA. Let me show you real quick. And it'll use the save that I have. Oh, I gotta have a control. I don't have a control connected. Never mind. But yeah, the gist of it is, you could play the game. It'll load up, and it'll load the save that you have on your Xbox, and that's awesome. Any game that I want that's eligible. Not every game in the Xbox library can do this, but the games that are on cloud gaming, you could totally play these games on your computer, and they'll use the save that you have on your Xbox. Hopefully that's the same for the PlayStation. That would be a good idea. The one thing that the PlayStation has over the Xbox service is that it's going to have 4K. Now you're going to have really good internet service to get 4K resolution, but that's an availability that's not on the Xbox, but that PlayStation will have. And eventually when they release all these updates, everybody's going to be able to enjoy it. If you have premium though. This is only for people that have the premium service. So if you don't have premium, you're not going to be able to use it even when it releases to the public, unfortunately. But if you do have premium, that's an option you do have. And last but not least, speaking of the Steam Deck, so Valve is going to do this where they're going to be able to sell you refurbished versions of the Steam Deck. This is for people who want to save some money, don't have a lot of money to buy a Steam Deck, but they want to get something that they want to get the Steam Deck, but they don't want to waste. They don't want to spend full price. They could get the refurbished Steam Deck. For the 64-bit version, I think it's $319. For the 256 gigabyte version, it's $419. And for the 512 gigabyte version, it's $519. The only thing about these prices, though, is that they're very similar to when Steam had the sale, where you could buy a new one. I know for the 512 gigabyte version, it was on sale for like $520, more or less. So I don't know if you really want to buy one now and you missed out on the sale, this may be a good option for you. I don't know about refurbished though. Like experience from people that always sell, you really have to check your refurbished products to make sure that they actually did the work. Sometimes they won't clean it properly. Sometimes they won't even open it properly, depending on where you buy it from. I'm hoping that Valve does a good job to actually do refurbish these products and sell them to you. But in my opinion, I'd rather just buy new. If you really want a Steam Deck, I would just wait for another sale. I'm sure Christmas time will come around, Thanksgiving, Black Friday. They'll probably do another sale on the Steam Deck, especially since it's had competition now with the ROG Ally, and I think another company announced, I forgot who, but another company announced that they're going to release another handheld that's Windows based. So there's going to be competition for the Steam Deck. So eventually they'll go on sale again. So maybe hold out and wait until they go on sale before you get a Steam Deck. But if you want one now and you don't have that much money to pay full price, these are alternatives that you could have. Just like I said, make sure that you check it when you get it. Make sure it's working properly. There's always some sort of guarantee or a return or something to these refurbished products that if you're not satisfied, you can return it for a full refund. So if you do decide to go this route, I suggest you check your system, make sure it's clean, make sure it's working properly, make sure that there's no like gunk in there, and maybe even open it up and make sure that there's no dirt and debris in there, because who knows what people do with their used stuff. All right, guys, so that's all I really want to talk about today. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. This is the Sheep Taco Man signing out.